Right guys, welcome to the channel. Rig build today. I'm going to do or show you how to do a paternoster, or my version of it at least. I really like this rig. Use it all year round for all different sort of things. So starting with your main rig body, I'm using ASO Classic £70, and you need a good maybe 4 foot-ish I would go for. Sometimes shorter, sometimes longer. And again, everybody is different. Everybody will have their own preferences. To do this rig, you're going to need weight clips, beads, swivels, crimps even, swivels, and obviously a hook of choice. So, bottom, your weight clip. 1, 2, 3. Lubrication stops it from, or stops the friction of it rubbing on itself, causing a weak point. Snip your tag. Right, so that's your weight clip at the bottom. Coming to the top, you'll need a crimp first. Again, crimp's not wanting to go on. Always find if you cut the tip of your line at a 45°, it tends to help get these crimps on. Saying that, I'm still struggling. Promise, I know what I'm doing. Right, crimp. Then you'll need your bead. Then a swivel. And then a bead. And then a crimp again. All fingers and thumbs, sorry. So yeah, you should have that now. Crimp, bead, swivel, bead, crimp. Just let that slide down. And right at the top of the rig, you want to put a swivel to connect to your main line. So tie that on. Right. Again, everybody have got their own knots they like to use. This is personal preference. Lubrication and pull down. Oh, that happened. Cut the tag. So at the moment, you should have swivel at the top, bait clip at the bottom, and between you should have 2 crimps, 2 beads, and a swivel floating about. So you want to slide everything back up to the top. I normally go an inch or so from the top So I'm going to go about there and crimp that down. Make sure you get these crimps right in the middle, because if you get them too close to the edge, you'll find that the edge of the crimp will cut into your line. If it doesn't cut all the way through when you're making your rig, it'll definitely cause a weak point in your line, and you don't want that if you've got a decent fish on and then it snaps. So slide everything back up, and then you want to crimp this in at the bottom. Again, round nose pliers are perfect, and just crimp the crimp in the middle. So you should have that swivel at the top, an inch or so, and then that should all be crimped down into place to stop it from sliding a bit. And then right at the bottom, your weight clip. So then you need your hook length, 40 pound ASO Classic today. I'll just cut a good length off. Go about that. Everything's tangled. I definitely need more practice at doing these videos. They just seem to be a bit of a mess. So that goes on to the swivel between your beads. 1, 2. One, two. Pull that tight. Cut the tag off. And now everybody will have their own preference at how long they like to have their snoods. I like to run it down with the main line and cut it maybe 6 inches, 7 inches away from the weight clip, sorry. So I'm going to go for about here. Cut it down. There we go. So at the moment, that's that. And then I'm going to attach my hook onto there. 8, 4. This is a tool. I normally go quite small for this rig. So there we go, cut it down. There we go. So that's your rig. Swivel to your main line. Coming down, you'll have a crimp bead. Swivel to your snood bead, and then another crimp. Coming down your main line to your weight clip, and then coming back up your snood length. It doesn't really matter, it's personal preference about the length to your hook. So when you cast out, main line here, weight at the bottom, and this will just float about in the current or the tide. But yeah, pretty simple stuff when you know how, I suppose. And it can be quite an effective rig to have in your box. So yeah, that's a paternoster. If you've got any questions or you want to know what hooks or whatever I've been using, drop a comment below. If you could give the video a like, a share, that would be appreciated. And if you could give the channel a subscribe, that would be even more appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you in the next one.